Oh, what is up, YouTube? What's up with you guys? I know it's been like months, weeks, whatever you want to call it, since I've uploaded a video. I don't typically do this, but this is a little bit more on the personal side of what I usually do. I know everybody expects, like it's going to be something energetic, something like, hopeful and stuff, but, I'm human. And, as humans, we go through things and we have to come to a lot of clarity and realizations before we become our best versions of ourselves and stuff. So I just want to take this time out for whoever needs to hear this, whoever needs to see this, as you guys hear my story and my journey that I'm about to tell you. There's multiple sides to me, like everybody knows me as the fun life of the party, can light up a room, high energy stuff, but I also have moments where I got to take a step back from everything, reassessate the situation, and really start to understand things and stuff, and really, go through things before I level up and go to the next phase of whatever it is that God wants me to do. And, this whole time, beneath all the stuff that I usually post, like with my acting and my music and stuff, there were some trials and tribulations I had to go through and stuff, I had to really find myself. I had to really listen to the criticism that, close friends and family, had to give me about myself. And the thing about criticism is you can either take it and take people's words from it, because sometimes we have to be told about ourselves that we don't naturally see or hear for us to really know who we are as people. And as people, that we can be stuck in our ways, and we have a lot of insecurities and stuff, and we refuse to change that. So I really had to listen to what people would tell me about, my character and my actions and what I have to do as a man and stuff. And listening, at first it was a hard pill to swallow, because when we get told what we need to do and stuff, we're quick to point fingers, and we're quick to be like, well, why aren't you talking about this person, X, Y, and Z and stuff? But it's until once you realize that, you have to take accountability for your actions and things that you've done and stuff, and you really gotta take accountability for it, understand it, and what you can do to change it. And I haven't been the best human being. I'm human. I make mistakes. I make dumb decisions. And, it leads to certain things happening. And growing up, my parents always say, I unfortunately always got to learn the hard way, which, again, I'm human. We all sometimes got to learn the hard way. We all got to go through some things before we really, start to see, okay, so this is what's happening. I'm not going to go into full details and everything, because there's some personal stuff that I don't want to put out there. This is just, my journey and stuff, yeah, I really had to take a step back, be back at my parents' house, and I really had to, God used this as a humbling experience so I can, grow up and, really know and prioritize my priorities and my responsibilities that I have to do. I haven't been the best father. I'm very lazy. I can be selfish. I can be inconsiderate. And, these were things that, I had to learn from certain people, especially my daughter's mother. I really had to learn to really step up as a man. And, there was a lot of things that happened, and I really thank God for putting me through these things, because if it wasn't for me getting humbled, and it's not even just that, it's not even just as men, but people, when we lose everything, that's when you really know your worth and what you have to do. And when you lose everything, that's when life really hits, and that's when you really start getting into a new gear and you level up, once you lose everything. And, that's why it's like when you're given everything, you really don't know what it's like to lose everything and have to fight, claw, and scratch and really improve on yourself and improve, for others around you when you really start to level up. So I'm really glad that this humbling experience happened. It's allowed me to get in better shape, prepare myself financially, and prepare myself mentally and stuff. I used to let a lot of things get to me. I used to sound desperate. But after I took a step back, I started to realize, you just can't let everything get to you, and you got to protect your peace, and you got to protect your energy. And it's helped me evolve into, a better person and everything. I'm a lot more calm. Sometimes I can over explain things. I'm learning just to, just let people cook sometimes, and just let, the world, God, do what it has to do and stuff. I know how to express my feelings better. I'm still going to be a loud person. That's just nothing. There's nothing I can change about that. That's the person that I am. I'm going to be a loud person. But I've really enjoyed this self-reflection, this clarity, and being by myself and being in this spot that my parents allowed me to be in. It's really helped me, and I see, the positive and the negative, and I'm happy. For a long time, I was depressed, but I can't actually say, I'm happy. Like, I'm learning to get back my self-love, my creativity, my positivity, and my confidence, and I walk with it, and I want to talk with it and stuff. And that's, what you got to do as not even just a man, as a human being. You want to talk with, confidence, be proud of yourself and love yourself. Everybody's human. We're all going to make mistakes as we go through this thing in life. It happens. There's no perfect human being except Jesus Christ, of course, but there's no other perfect human being. He knows that we're going to mess up. We're going to trip. We're going to stumble. A lot of people can't accept that, and that's why they always want to make things perfect. But when you meet somebody or see somebody and they tell you like, yo, you're not perfect, they can, it gets them. It's an ego thing. It's a pride thing. But once you lower like that pride and you really go down and be like, yo, I really am not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to mess up. That's when you really start to see life in a different aspect, in a different perspective. And I used to be a perfectionist, thinking that, everything I do is perfect. Everything I have to do is perfect. But I accepted that, I am a mess up. I'm going to keep messing up. I stand proud on that. I don't lose, I learn. And I'm glad that I stumbled and I got back into this experience, because it's allowed me to have a different mentality, that grind, to really build my empire, build a perfect life for my daughter, focus more on acting, music, this YouTube thing. I really got to get this into gear and stuff, working nonstop. I have mouths to feed. I got to take care of myself. I got to take care of my daughter. I got to take care of a lot of priorities and bills and stuff. And, some people can't take, accountability and realize where their faults were and improve on that. And I want to thank God that I was able to come to that realization and really, be like, yo, I really got to get my act together. Some people, it takes longer for them to realize that, and some people don't figure it out at all. And the fact that I did figure it out, I'm really proud of myself, and I stand on that. The fact that I was able to, take the criticism that people told me, figure out the things that I need to work on, and the fact that I'm working on that and improving every day. I don't need anybody else's validation to tell me, hey, you're improving, hey, you're not improving and stuff. As long as I know it and I know what I'm doing, that's all that matters. And I stand on that. And you guys shouldn't look for anybody's validation. The only validation you should seek is from God and from yourself. And, if you do get that validation, you be humble about it, and that's great. If you don't go looking for it in other people, because some people, they gonna tear you down a lot. And me, how I always was, I'm at my strongest when people look down on me and underestimate my capabilities. And my thing is, sometimes it may take a while for me to understand things and get things done, but it will get done. There's power in the words that you say and the energy that you have in yourself. And, a lot of people always think that I'm not capable of doing certain things. And the Bible says you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And, I always speak into existence. I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to be successful in this YouTube. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be able to take care of my daughter and stuff. And that's when I'm at my best, when people keep doubting me. And the thing is, before, I used to let it get to me when people doubt me and think that I can't do things. And I would get angry. I would fight people in high school when they would doubt my skills, like when I was on the volleyball team or basketball or something like that. And it would get to me. But after I stopped letting it get to me, I realized that I use that as fuel to motivate myself and use my actions to show you, yo, you doubted me, but look where I'm at right now, And it's like in this life, the world's not going to wait for you to change. You can either change with everything going around you and change for yourself, or you're going to get left behind, as simple as that. And, I want to surround myself with people that actually, want to take accountability for their actions and take accountability for the things, that they have done and want to improve on that. And it's like, it really does, your character really does revolve around the people that you hang around with, Like if you surround yourself with winners, you're going to be in that winner mindset. If you surround yourself with people that don't want to grow and are staying in the same place, that's the type of energy that, you're going to absorb and stuff. And, it really was like a long, hurtful process. I had to realize things about myself, who I was as a person, just, being told that I'm a bad father and everything and stuff. And it hurt and it stung. But after I listened to understand, I realized, these people are right. Like, I got to step it up, I have to take care of my daughter. I have to do things for her. I have to spend more time with her and everything. And the moments I have with her, I take them serious and I cherish it, I finally am in a position where I can get the things that she needs without having to rely on people. And, as men and as a father, you get a high when you're doing what you're supposed to do, take care of your bills, take care of your kids and everything and stuff. I have a lot of, projects coming out and everything that's going to change my life. I'll share that with you guys soon. And to my daughter, if you ever see this as you get older, your dad, he's not a perfect man. He never will be a perfect man. As you were growing up, I was lazy, I was pretentious, selfish, and inconsiderate. And, there was a lot of things that I put a lot on your mother that was supposed to be put on me. And I want to apologize to you, Aaliyah, that, it took your father a while to figure out what he needs to do. I've only been a father as long as you've been my daughter, for 2 years. And some people accept it, some people don't. But I believe it's never too late to change, and it's never too late to be a change and make a change. And doing something is better than doing nothing. And I want to take the time out to say your father loves you dearly. He would do everything to take care of you. He would do everything to love you. And he promises everything that he's going through and had to go through, that you will not go through that. I can't promise you're going to have a perfect life. I can't promise that you're not going to go through things. But the one thing that I can promise is that I will be there every step of the way with you. No matter how far I am, no matter how close I am, I will be here every step of the way with you. And I'm going to mess up. And I own to that. I will mess up. I will stumble. I will trip. I will fall. But as your father and as people around me know, I don't know how to stay down and be defeated. Whenever I mess up, I'm getting right back up. And when I get back up, I'm better than I was than when I fell. And I learned my lesson from it. And, Daddy really took this time to really understand his growth, his pain, and what he has to do to make our family in a better place and in a better spot. And, you know, nobody on this earth is going to love you more than me and your mother. And your mother is a very strong woman. She works a lot, she hustles a lot, and you are her greatest blessing, and you're my greatest blessing. You changed our life for the better. And you have to respect your mother, love your mother, and cherish your mother. She does a lot for you, and she did and does a lot for me. And no matter what happens, we love you. We always will love you. And I want you to know that when you see this video, yeah, you know, your dad's a punk. He got some feelings. Yeah, he got some feelings. He's a little punk, you know. But you still my twin at the end of the day, literally. And I can't wait to see what you're going to become as you get older. I want you to be an actor. I would love that. But I will never force your destiny on you. I want you to find your own happiness and find your own purpose in life. I want to thank you for allowing me to be a father. And I want to thank you for allowing me to do something before it was too late. Even though it's never too late to do something and be a change, I still want to say thank you for allowing me to do that. And, you know, I've done a lot of terrible things in the past that I'm not proud of. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and financially. You know, there's a lot of things that I wasn't focusing on. But, you know, it has to get bad before it gets good. And I really do thank God for, you know, allowing me to finally get out of that and really focus on building my empire, staying laser focused on what counts and building my future and doing what I need to do. And I want whoever needs to hear this, whoever needs to see this, to use this as motivation. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can change and be better, there's no excuse. Why can't you? Anybody can be better. You just have to choose to do it. Everything in this life is a choice. You can choose to hold on to things that no longer are happening in the here and now, or you can choose to let go, and you can choose to change with the new life that is happening in front of you. And it really does hurt when you don't change and everything else around you is, because then you get stuck in the past and you stay in the past, and that makes you, you know, really bitter and stuff. And everybody's human. It's happened to me too, but life has to move on, and you're either going to move on with it or it's going to move on without you. You know, and I want to thank my friends. You guys know who you are, my family, for supporting me throughout this whole emotional roller coaster that I had to go through to really get in this mindset. And it's really helping me, and it's really paying off. You know, a lot of people are seeing it. And again, I don't need the validation for it because I know what I'm doing. I wouldn't lie to you and say it doesn't feel nice, but you know, it's not about that. It's not about doing it to get validation from people. It's about doing it because it's right. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I apologize if it got a little sensitive and it got a little long and everything, but I just wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at right now. I'm saving up to get better camera quality, better edits, so I can give you guys the videos that I have in the vault and stuff, and the videos that I will be doing. Losing My Pride is going to be coming out on Tubi soon, so my first TV debut series. Make sure you guys tune into that. I will be dropping the trailer once my director's done the final edits on my YouTube. A lot of acting stuff coming up. I got some open mics, some gigs and everything. And, you know, this year has really been a lesson and a blessing in disguise, and I'm not mad at it. And, you know, I just, you know, I'm proud of myself that I can smile no matter how bad things get. And, I'm really enjoying my peace and finding my peace and finding my balance in everything that's going on. And, I'm not going to go into full details and over talk and everything and stuff. You guys can dictate yourselves as you think it's authentic or not. But I just want you guys to know that it's never too late to make a difference, and it's never too late to make a change and be the change. It's never too late, and it's a choice. And it may take a while before you realize it, but the fact that you got there and you realized your flaws and your mistakes and you want to work on that and change that and listen, that's a W in itself. And whether people want to think it's BS or not, it's not about them, it's about you. It's about you. If you know you're doing what you need to do and you're changing and you're trying to be better day by day, it's a W. And, the past is a graveyard, leave it buried. You have to focus on what is in front of you, what is new. And some people will remember you for what you were, but people don't want to remember you and cherish you for what you are. And my friend John Corbett, he said, don't judge me on my choices. Judge me on my character. Everyone's going to make bad choices. It's life. But who you are is a character. And the journey that you go on, that's what you judge somebody on. And, a lot of people always judge me on my choices that I make. And that's what dictates and leads them to underestimate me and believe that I have no value in anything. And it hurt at first when people do that. But after I realized that you only judge me on my choices when you make bad choices as well too, or, you're not perfect, it just shows that there's a lot of insecurity that people around you in the world has. And I do believe that not taking accountability for your actions and not wanting to change and not wanting to let go of hate is why this world is the way that it is. The world has enough hate, and us as human beings, we should do everything in our power to spread love and not hate. And I truly believe that I can make a difference in this world just with my energy alone and my positivity and the light that I know I have. And I do believe that that's my calling in life, is to really bring a change in this world, because we have enough hate in it. That's just my little motivational spiel and stuff. But yeah, final regards, just be the change and you will see change. Be optimistic and optimistic things will happen. Leave the past in the graveyard, leave it buried, move on from it, and accept the things and accept the people that are in front of you. If you see somebody is, changing and being better and wanting to be better, there should be no reason as to why, you give that person a hard time. If they're not changing and you're not seeing anything, it's a different story. But it's like you can't wash dirt with dirt, and just protect your energy, y'all. Love, be loved, see what's in front of you. Never be too prideful. Ask for help if you need it. We all need help in this life. There's certain things in this life we can't do by ourselves. And you only have one life. Just live it. Live your life. Trust in God. Pray. And all the things that you want in this world will be yours. And as a man and as a woman, once you learn to master yourself, then you master the world. And that's the path that I'm on right now. Mastering myself So everything that I want in life will come with it. I won't have to chase it. It'll chase me. I want to say thank you guys for the endless love and support you give me. You guys know who you are. My fan base, my supporters, my family, my friends, for believing in me and not giving up on me, even despite the choices that I've made, and for accepting me, fully me, the good and the bad. You know, most people, you know, they don't accept that. They don't want to accept that, which is fine. It doesn't bother me, you know. But I know who those people are that are day ones and have stuck with me through thick and thin despite the good and the bad. And I want you guys to even love the people who refuse to accept the good and bad in themselves and point fingers at other people. All right, y'all? And that's it. I want y'all to take care, protect y'all energy. I'll see y'all in the next video.